Hey everybody, I'm Ben Yee.
I'm Elissa Stein, and we are here to talk about MAILERgate.
MAILERgate!
MAILERgate, a name that
big.
we made up.
Yeah.
It is big. The state Democratic Party endorsed Andrew Cuomo.
It did.
And therefore can use state funds to send out stuff on his behalf, supporting him, since he's their endorsed candidate. But instead of taking the high road and sending out something to Democrats across the state about the great job he did.
Well, they did that too, in fairness.
Okay.
But they also sent
So
this
they
to
did
the
that.
trash.
But they also sent out a thing that basically said Cynthia Nixon was an anti-Semite.
Yeah.
It didn't specifically use those words, but it alleged other things, and everybody was crying foul, from Cynthia Nixon and her campaign to elected Democrats across the state. It was a really important thing to do. So how did that happen? You're an elected state committee man.
Yep.
Did you know about it?
Had no clue that this was going to happen.
Good, Ben. I didn't want to have to blame this on you.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm working on a resolution to censure the state party for this and condemn the mailer. But who's responsible for this? This is actually a really tricky question because the state party, even to state committee members, is incredibly opaque. But what
a shock! A Democratic Party is incredibly opaque.
We're working to open this thing up, and we need your help as voters. But we'll get to that in a second. What I do want to say is, regardless of who was actually in charge, Byron Brown is the chair of the Democratic Party. He's the mayor of Buffalo. He's also the chair of the party.
Is he elected to that, or he's appointed to that?
He is elected by the state committee members, but he had no contest in his election.
Okay.
All members of the executive committee won without contest. And
Sounds like county committee in Manhattan, people.
And they were a slate put forward by the governor 2 years ago.
Rubber stamping. Okay.
Yeah.
So this guy was elected, no challengers whatsoever. He's the head of the party. So is this his responsibility?
He cuts the checks. And so whether or not he knew about it personally, he either had to have seen it himself or delegated the authority for somebody to do it.
The buck has to stop somewhere.
It does.
It does. Is there any movement towards making sure that somebody takes responsibility? Like, has anybody stood up and said, you know what, folks, we're sorry, this shouldn't have happened? Like, has there been any sort of...
Yes. The executive director, Jeff Berman, went on Twitter and said this was a terrible mailer. He condemned it and said he had no knowledge of it. And then the governor, who, even though Byron Brown is the chair of the state party and has the technical power over its spending, the governor is the person who installed him. The governor is very closely tied with the workings of the party. So most people assume that he also knew about this, or somebody close to him did.
Right.
But the governor also condemned the mailer, sort of ironically. Like, it's just sort of weird because everybody assumes it was his idea.
But you know what, even
whatever.
But
maybe not. Maybe not.
It's possible, but even so, easy to condemn now when all these people got the information. Do you know what I mean? Easy to say afterwards, oh, that shouldn't have happened, because you know what? All those people saw that.
And to that point, the party offered to send a mailer on behalf of Nixon.
That, and I laughed because they said that on Monday, and the election is on Thursday. So how are they going to design and print and mail and get them to people's houses in 3 days? It's physically, as a graphic designer, that's not possible.
Yeah, it's pretty impossible.
It's impossible. So it's this totally empty promise. And I'm also going to just go on a teeny tiny rant about something else. Politics should not take place on Twitter. Politics should not take place on Twitter. It's destroyed so much.
Well, I also posted to Facebook.
Thank you, man. And I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking, every politician can go on Twitter and say, we're so disappointed in this, or I strongly believe, or thoughts and prayers every time there's gun violence. It means nothing. It means shit. Making a stand on Twitter doesn't mean anything, and that's not how things should work.
I agree.
It's not how things should work. So everybody can make a grandstand, and Cuomo can be like, that's terrible. But you know what? It's like money where your mouth is. What are you going to do about it?
And to that point, actually, I'd really like to urge everybody to remember, in this primary, Thursday, September 13th, not only are we electing our representatives or our candidates to go to the general election, we are also electing our party leadership. So state committee members are being elected or re-elected this year on Thursday, and some of them are contested. For example, Chris Marte is running downtown against somebody who works for the Speaker of the Assembly. Now, if you want to ask who will be more faithful to the voters and who will be more faithful to the politicians, I think that's an easy call.
Chris Marte is great.
There's
Chris
also
Marte is like one of the most dedicated neighborhood community people that I've met. He is wonderful.
If you live in AD 65.
Yeah, you were running, but you were
uncontested.
So are you going to be on the ballot?
I will not be on the ballot.
All right, so Ben Yee is automatically going to be our state assemblyman again.
No, committee man. State committee man.
Right. But again, which is really exciting because you do a great job at it.
Yes.
And
but these are important elections. If you don't like what the state party did, find it if you have a state committee election.
Where can somebody find that out?
And vote.
And this is one of the problems.
That's really super hard.
Right, and so that's a sucky thing about the way the system works. These things matter, and it's not always easy to find information. This should be front and center on every Democratic club. Like whatever Democratic clubs are in that neighborhood, it should be there. But it should also be on some sort of statewide website so somebody can just see what our live.
If there's a contested, I take it back. If there's a contested state committee election where you are, you can go to the Board of Elections and look up the primary ballot where you live. And it will show you whether or not there is a contested state committee election.
Okay, but that's not fun or easy.
Additionally, what I will say is that I created a little form on my website, benjaminyee.com, where you can message your state committee member.
That's great.
Yes. So if you go to benjaminyee.com and then look in the navigation menu for Action Center, the first option is Contact Your State Committee Rep. You can go there and make sure you say something to them about this, because on October 1st, the state committee will be convening to elect the state committee leadership, including the chair. And if we want an independent chair or just somebody different, we're going to need votes on that state committee. So we want to elect good people, and we want to make sure people who are elected know that folks are paying attention to this.
Right. So I'm going to bring this full circle and just quickly say, this is what's going on in county committee in New York City, in Manhattan, where people were rubber stamped. We were supposed to vote on a slate, which we did. We didn't have a choice. And I'll just mention quickly that our meeting that was supposed to happen 3 months later about the rules still hasn't happened. It's September. It's past when the meeting was last year, or it's about the same time.
Yeah.
So it's been a year. But this is the same thing. What happens when a slate is just thrown in there? You have no choice. They were obviously predetermined by somebody who wants to have some sort of control or input onto things, and then things just go stagnant. Nothing happens. No transparency. No opportunity for people to participate in a more meaningful way. So you want to participate, make a difference. You got to vote. You have to speak out and be heard.
So true.
And with that, vote.
Yes, September 13th.
Thursday. See ya.
Hey, if you like what you're seeing here, don't forget to share, like, and comment on these videos.
The more people that hear what we have to say, perhaps the more they'll get involved. So thank you so much from us to you and all our new followers.
Thanks for watching.